How long do you give a series before you drop it? If it's a long running series, do you purchase it in its entirety, or do you purchase something that's a little bit more manageable, like 1 or 3 volumes? Or do you give it a few chapters or potentially one chapter before you come to the conclusion that this isn't for you? The line "it gets good at insert volume or chapter number here" is thrown around so much with series that are longer than 15 to 20 volumes. Take Naruto for example. Dropping it after 30 chapters or volume 4 is only 5% of the overall story. It concludes the prologue as well as the Land of Waves arc, but is that enough information for you to say that it's not for me and drop it? Or should you just continue in hopes that it gets good? Well, the obvious answer is that it's subjective, and if you didn't enjoy the Zabuza arc, then you're probably not going to enjoy the rest of Naruto, to be honest. Similar to One Piece, which has just had its 100th volume come out, I've seen people drop it before the crew even reached the Grand Line, which is less than 10% of the overall story. And the same can be said about almost any long-running series, but I've seen it most recently with Sakamoto Days. I've seen a couple of manga tubers mention that they didn't enjoy volumes 1 and 2.
So Sakamoto Days Volume 1 was alright.
But now that volume 3's come out, they're starting to enjoy it a little bit more.
But now I'm starting to ease up into it. I'm getting into it, people. I like it.
Initially, Sakamoto Days starts off as a comedy series with some really impactful fighting sequences. An overweight shop owner, contrasted with his history of once being the top tier assassin, was always going to lead into his past catching up with him. And in turn, it's become much more action and story focused and continues to hold the comedy elements. And I would say this is probably the point where most people say that the series gets good. Some more important assassins come after Sakamoto rather than the Hitman of the Week kind of deal. But I've seen many people drop the series after volume 1.
But the reason why I decided to stop reading this, I just don't like episodic stuff. Sakamoto Days was okay, but again, the mid-manga problem. For us, it was just okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you have to have the hindsight to know if a series is going to be successful, or your knowledge of anime and manga is enough for you to determine if it's worth your time? Personally, I don't think a single volume is enough for somebody to say if a series is terrible or not. But what I will say is, if you've read enough of a genre to know that it's not your cup of tea, I would say it's okay to drop it. The more you expose yourself to a particular genre or series, it's easier to identify where a series is going to go. Things like story beats and character personalities, you'll know straight away pretty much if you're going to vibe with those kind of characters or storyline. But I definitely don't think it's okay to drop a series and then say it's terrible if it's not to your taste. Anyways, this was a pretty short video. Let me know kind of how many chapters or volumes that you give yourself before you decide to not pick up a series anymore. I myself normally give myself 3 volumes, I would say. Maybe 1 or 2 if they're like omnibuses. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.